And welcome. This is Fo Sung Elizabeth Cookye, CEO and Mistress Secretary of Goddesses Incorporated, and the ultimate anime goddess mascot covering most things of women from the Bisoujo Senshi universe, fighting video games, and of course women from anime. I wanted to say thank you guys for continuing to still patronize and support my webisodes online on YouTube, and thus I've been a little bit behind schedule these couple of days because I've been busy settling some personal matters. As of next week, I will be in my own place of operations once again, like in Albany, New York, and I will start filming some of my episodes from there and outside and in new scenery. So these two new episodes that will be posted online between today and tomorrow will be what I will have up online for the next 2 weeks, because I'll be busy unloading, unpacking, and getting my new base of operations together as I continue my work in the anime world and in life lessons. So last episode that everyone saw, thank you so much for your comments and your opinions, is about life lessons learned in this reality, and that was basically about how to network in high school and college. So now this brings me to my next in a short mini series of life lessons to learn in reality. And this episode is how to survive employment bullshit and how to get around the political structures within employment. You see, lately a lot of my friends from the East Coast and a recent friend here on the West Coast, they have lost their jobs and have had similar incidences in the past on going to work and having employees on the same level really come together, make separate cliques, and then plot to get them fired. So this video right here that I'm creating is learning how to deal with the political structures, how to overcome that kind of employee oppression, and how to outsmart the people that you work with that may have discrepancies in their own personal idiosyncrasies about you. So first things first, from my own experiences being in the job force, first of all, being a person of color, being gay and a cross-dresser, I have to deal with almost anything and everything that comes my way. Basically, I can never always got to sleep with one eye open, and always got to look behind my shoulder, because there is at least one person trying to plot to get me fired just for being who I am. With that said, the same thing goes for people in the heterosexual world. There's always somebody somewhere where you work that may not like who you are for what you are, or just a particular style, and so thus they start to create rumors about you. These are the steps that I would like for all of you to follow when this type of thing occurs in the workforce. First things first, know your surrounding and know who you are working with. Minimize your conversational time with people anyway at the job to only what is expected of you. So if it has nothing to do with work, then please try not to talk about it, because the more you reveal about yourself, it's more people have dirt to build upon you. Now, in that same likeness, the more you do not share about yourself can also potentially be another trap where they can start to create things about you. So while that is happening, your job within the job is to do your assigned tasks where you work, wherever you work, to the best of your ability, so that the people with power, such as your supervisors, your managers, and their bosses' bosses, can recognize you for what you do well. That means coming to work before time, clocking in on time, clocking out on time, and giving your 120% of all that you do for what you do, to show them that you care, which makes them look good, which in turn will want them to fight for you, defend you, and they know what you do because you are stuck to the assigned tasks. So that should any rumors come up about you, they will be deemed as invalid. Number two, social events. Usually a lot of employee places, jobs, like to have Christmas parties, Thanksgiving gatherings, Easter parties, birthday celebrations, random celebrations that may come out throughout the year. My personal rule of thumb is this: I do not support, I do not go, and I do not patronize. For those can be the social traps to get people to try and learn things about you and then create rumors about you and bring that into the workforce. And then that's when people start to come together to try to get you fired. Basically, I don't have time for bullshit. And when it comes to that, I really share as much as less possible about myself. What I do on my own time is what I do on my own time. When I come to work, I come into work because I have a paycheck that needs to be made, because that paycheck is funding my dream. A little bit off the topic, in the next episode 2 weeks from now, you will understand about funding your dream. And that comes from working in a regular job to fund what it is that you like to do with yourself as we go across to our careers. So, rule of thumb number 2, do not, and I really successfully really support this, do not support social gatherings as much. You know, if you do, say little about yourself, say hi, bye, don't eat too much, don't drink too much, and really listen to the conversations around you, because that's how you learn the way people act and socially interact around each other, especially in the workforce. Rule of thumb number 3, how to avoid questions when people ask you redundant statements that has nothing to do with your job. Good example, are you a Christian? Well, you answer that question with another question. Do you like to swim? Well, of course, they'll respond, what does swimming have anything to do with being a Christian? Well, that's when you respond, what does Christianity have anything to do with what I do here at my job? Try to avoid questions that have nothing to do with the work as possible, for that's how people try to read you. You can cut that bullshit and those minute instances at the root right there. That's how you stop that. And rule number 4, which is my most important one, always be on your P's and Q's. Always dot your I's, cross your T's, because people are always looking for the smallest thing that they can look to put against you, from the way you look, from the way you did something wrong, from the way you do your job. Dress modest. Make sure that you stick directly to what you do, which is at your job. And always be willing to put up a good fight on paper. 90% of the people that make accusations of people at work normally are speaking verbally, and they've been there for a number of times, and so they've gained seniority. The way you fight that is to always chart down on paper what goes on at work. Most people do not write, don't know how to write, and this is your time to actually bring up your social skills on paper. Really bring that to the writing. Put that on the tablet. The pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. And many times I have kept my job for a long time because I have documented everything, dates, times, places, versus the person who tried to make the accusation against me by mouth. So, if anything, if you even think that somebody is plotting against you, trying to create something against you, you need to document, document, document. That is the #1 nerd philosophy of working in a regular employment force with people in the rat race. Document, document, document. For when your superiors at the corporate office look at who versus who, they will look at, well, was it documented? You have something on paper, and that makes the other person look like a regular peon. So always document what you do. It will protect you always in the corporate world. Those are some of the 5 regular basic lessons on how to survive and keep your job, especially in times like this now in the economic crisis. People are looking for anything to pin up against you. Always document, always dress modest. Do not go to social events. Speak very less about yourself. Make yourself an asset, not a liability. Mind your business, and like I said once more, say very less about yourself. Say Cookie!